Hey everybody. Uh Welcome to Burn a Flick. We're here with myself, Jonah, and Zach. And last week we talked about the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman. This week we're going to talk about what are we Nightmare Alley. Yeah,
Mhm.
Nightmare Alley. Um uh was it I think it was Zach that first mentioned Nightmare Alley, or who mentioned it
I think it was
first?
the conglomerate of minds
Oh,
put together,
it just
and
kind of arose out of
yeah,
the ether.
I think
Okay,
I said the word night, you said mare, and he said alley, and it came together.
and we all
And
just had a light bulb moment.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, what should we hit first with this one? Um,
Should we
oh
talk?
wait, let's talk about the ending, because I think
You
the
want to talk
ending.
about the ending already?
Yeah, no, because like the ending is such a I because what am I trying to say? It's telegraphed. It's super telegraphed.
Okay.
And I feel like when people talk about this movie, it's the ending that is one of the more obvious things to talk about.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Did you have something else you want to talk about?
Well, I was thought maybe if we wanted to talk about the, I guess people would really want to hear wouldn't want to hear much about the setting wise, and like the cinematography behind it because of Guillermo Del Toro's
Guillermo.
like. I apologize, Guillermo. You won't ever hear this though. Like his style of cinematography and how he shoots is what I wanted to see. But we
Oh
can talk
no,
about
yeah,
that.
we could talk about that. I don't mind talking about that. Like, I was talking to Jonah about this uh last week after I watched it, that like I didn't realize it was a Guillermo movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have mentioned it when we first talked about it, but I forgot that it was a Guillermo movie.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and I'm like, this reminds me of Shape of Water. And
Yes.
I'm watching this, and then obviously the movie ends, and I look up, I wiki the movie, and I'm like, oh, there you go, it's Guillermo.
And he's got like certain like cuts and takes that
Yes.
make his movies like distinct.
It's the darkness and the very vibrant use of dark
It's-
colors.
It's not. I don't think it's just the darkness though.
It takes dark colors and makes them light.
Yeah, no, he uses the darkness in his shots to make the colors pop.
Yes.
And the coloring in his movies, they always pop.
I
They
know.
always pop.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
No matter how dim it seems, you can just see the differences in everything.
Like when you're talking about like dim scenes, like I'm thinking of uh when he's doing his mentalist show in the fancy hotel,
Mm-hmm.
where he first meets Kate Blanchett's character.
Yes.
That whole
Lilith.
scene, Lilith, yes, Dr. Lilith Ritter, I
Ritter.
believe.
Lilith Ritter. Yep.
But yeah, like that whole sequence was really, really well shot, because it's a dark hotel, like dining room, conference room, whatever.
Yes.
It's dark, but like the coloring is amazing. And on top of that, I really liked the first half of the movie, where like it spends a lot of time in the carnival. I feel like it had like a grungier look to things,
Right. Yeah.
like a dirtier,
Mm-hmm.
wetter look.
I think that was like throughout the whole movie. It was just like I honestly felt like I needed to take a shower after.
Yeah.
Because I felt just like just wet and disgusting. Like it was very moist throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Just had this moisture on top of everything.
He does like the rain in his movies. Like I
Oh,
feel like there's a lot of
yes.
rain in this movie.
Oh, like when they're bringing the geek to the Salvation Army, and it's just
Yeah.
Yes.
these guys they're gonna get sick. And this guy, the fact that he's dying right now, how is he not dead already? Which obviously brings us to the end of the movie eventually. But
Yeah.
I wanted to say one thing about
When did it hit you? When did it hit you that
you knew exactly what was gonna
yeah,
happen.
when was that moment? Because for me, it was pretty late for me, to be honest.
I think it was the tarot card reading in his hotel.
Oh, with where the hanged man?
Yeah, with what's her name, Toni Collette.
Yeah, Toni Collette's character.
Yes.
Miss what's her name? I forget.
Miss Xena, I think.
Xena.
Miss
That's
Xena.
what it was.
I think foreshadowing was really big throughout this whole movie. I think I found out when he sat down with Willem Dafoe in that diner, like right after dropping the geek
Oh,
off,
Yeah.
and they were having that discussion of like, oh,
How he creates a geek.
yeah, and it's just like, you know, Why do you really want to know this?
we're going pretty deep into this.
Mhm.
Is this a clue?
Which bothers me at the end of the movie when we get there, like
I didn't.
how
It didn't click for
could've-
me. It clicked for me super late. Like this was after he punched the dude to death, and he ran away with Rooney Mara's character, and then Rooney Mara leaves, and then he's like, "I don't need you," and then him running through the trains.
Mhm.
That's when I was like, "Oh shit,
We're
it's
getting
him.
there.
He's the geek."
Well, okay, I guess I'm lying when I say I saw this coming there.
Yeah.
I saw a downfall coming because they talked about it and like this.
Oh
what they
yeah,
did.
yeah.
And that's a downfall. Your basic, downfall. Like, hey, flying too close to the sun here. I guess. When I noticed it was probably when not when he started running away, but when he killed what's his name?
Oh, the rich guy.
The rich guy. What's the actor's name actually?
Richard Jenkins.
Richard Jenkins.
Yeah.
Fun. The other woman, by the way, she was also the other woman who was in Step Brothers with him.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the one who murdered suicide.
Yeah. Mhm.
I forgot her name too. She's also a big actress, and to be honest, I should do more.
Who?
The woman who
What
shot
woman?
her husband is in the face. And
Oh, her. Okay,
They're
the
both in
the judge's wife.
yes, they're
Yeah.
both in Step Brothers together, which I digress here. It was there when he punched Richard Jenkins to death.
Mhm.
Is when I started seeing it. So yes, it was pretty late too. But I think you weren't supposed to figure that out immediately. I think that's what they're trying to do too.
No, I think they
I don't-
kind of made it obvious. I don't think they cared if you figured it out early.
Yeah.
Because like I think at its core, this movie is a tragedy,
Yes.
and like the sad ending at the end is built into what this movie is. So like you go into this movie knowing that hey, your main character is gonna have a downfall. Like that's the whole genre of this movie.
Agreed.
And so about the ending.
Yeah, let's go through it. Let's do it.
it. So I didn't read. I looked up some interviews and shit about Guillermo's take on this ending and like Bradley Cooper's take on this ending. And in the original movie, the main character, he says,
Stand.
I was made for this. It's Stan. He says I was made for this role, or I was made for this job, or whatever. The job.
But he
But
says
he says I was born for
for
it
this.
in this one, and I think that's a more interesting take on that, because like it kind of implies that his downfall was like I'm repeating myself at this point, but it was built into his story. Like he was always gonna have this downfall.
it was just in the cards.
It's literally in the tarot cards. Yes.
And that's what he came here for.
Uh-huh.
He joined this business. He went through a life of crap.
Yeah.
Right.
I hated Stan, by the way. I did not like him from the beginning.
Oh,
I did
his
not.
character?
I did not like him.
Oh, he's scummy.
Yeah, that's
He's a-
exactly what he was.
He's a literal scumbag.
Well, when it's weird, like in the beginning, you think, is this guy? I thought this guy was like going to be an issue, like a murderer, like
Yeah.
a real serial killer, because you see him dragging the body
Oh yeah, yeah.
in the home,
First shot.
and then in the first shot, and it sets it on fire, and you don't realize what it is. And obviously later on, you see, oh, it must be his dad or something like that,
Mhm.
and he must have loved his dad or something. Maybe
Yeah, because they made it seem because he was by the deathbed, and they
Yes.
kind of made it seem like
And
he was caring for him a little bit.
and he whispered to him like
I
sweet
fucking hate
nothings
you.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's like, I've always hated you.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then he carried like throughout the rest of the movie after like his dad passed away.
yeah.
He carried all that trauma with him
Mm-hmm.
throughout the whole movie up until the very end. I think he let his dad's watch go, and I think that's when he
Yeah.
just kind of accepted. You know what? This is who I am. I've left my dad completely behind, and now I'm
Yeah. There's that ongoing motif we're talking about of disgust. Like everything around you, it's meant to make you feel uneasy. Make you feel really uneasy. The whole aspect of he steers clear of alcohol
yeah.
because he wants to keep his mind ready. He wants to keep the money going because he
Mhm.
realized he doesn't want to fall like other people he's seen, like his friend, Pete, the other mentalist.
Oh yeah, the
who
okay.
who succumbed to alcoholism and then
Well, realistically, it was
he-
because he
he
got him the
killed.
wrong alcohol.
yes, purposely though.
Yeah, definitely.
Was it purposely?
Definitely purpose.
It was purposely, definitely
Yeah.
purposely.
I think so.
I really would have to go back into the dialogue there to realize it, but
I
believe it
don't-
was purposeful.
I don't think
because
he
he's-
meant to do it.
Because what's her name? Dr. Lilith Ritter
Yeah.
talked about the man you killed. The man you killed.
Yeah,
And he said it.
this is true.
He said the man you killed at the carnival.
Mm.
Not the man who died, and who she initially talked about. Tell me about the man who passed away, the man who died at the carnival. And then later on, when she turned on him, the man you killed.
Yeah,
And he didn't deny.
he didn't deny it because he knew he directly caused his death, but I
Yes.
don't think he meant to do it.
Maybe not.
I don't. I'd have to go back and rewatch that part because, like, from what I could tell, like, he didn't want to get him alcohol in the beginning.
No,
and
he
then-
really cared about him.
And then,
Mhm.
yeah, he cared about. And then Pete strong armed him into getting. And then eventually he relented. He's like, "All right, I'll get you a bottle." And then he goes gets the bottle. He gets the wrong bottle.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I think he was trying to get that book, the book of all his
Yes.
trade secrets
Oh yeah,
of being a mentalist.
yeah.
Do you think that was his mentalist idea of like how he went to Toni Collette, Madame Zena?
Mhm.
Do you want your book back? And she's like, no, you keep it, because he knew that she would
Deny it.
deny it
Hmm.
Oh,
because he wanted to seem
I-
like he didn't care that much about it. Even though another foreshadowing thing again. Oh my god, the second sight thing. Pete said, if you believe too much into it,
yeah.
it'll end up taking over and it
Mhm.
would ruin everything.
Hmm.
Huh.
Right? He talked about it before. It's like if
Yeah.
you allow this to take over, you'll succumb to the problems,
Hmm.
and then overall, yeah, we know what
Yeah,
happens.
throughout the whole movie, it was telling you exactly what was going to happen, and like,
You're gonna die.
yeah,
Everything's gonna. Well, you're not gonna die. Everything's gonna work out terribly for you. Just don't do this.
Does it? Proceeds to do exactly that.
Kind of scared me, like how I don't know. It not really scared me, but really
Uh-huh.
got me questioning things when in his home or his hotel, whatever. And Madame Zena was there, says, and they're playing with the tarot cards.
Uh-huh.
And then she says, "You understand that this last card determines everything. It's a decree." She says, "It's a decree that tells you how your fate will go."
Yeah.
And he's like, he doesn't care because he doesn't believe it.
Just like send it.
Mhm.
Because he doesn't believe it. And then she's like, okay. And then it comes upside down,
Yeah.
because the way depends. All these cards have different meanings: upside down, sideways.
Oh really?
Yeah, like
I
the
didn't know
tarot
that.
cards is how they read because the combinations they're put together can mean
Ah.
many different things, and how you
I'm
read them.
not too familiar with tarot
It's
cards.
pseudoscience, but obviously, but how she was scared, like this is an issue,
Mhm.
like, and he's like, we can always change these, and he flips the card upside down,
Yeah.
which could have sealed his fate there.
Huh.
Maybe things could have worked out differently or better had he not messed with the cards, or at least believed them.
I don't understand, like, with Madame Zena, like, what exactly is her role in this movie? Because in the beginning, I thought, like, he was gonna try to, like, elope with her.
Oh,
Or, like,
yeah.
he was gonna try to, like, get with her and somehow, like, cuck Pete.
I
somehow.
Mhm.
But that didn't really happen.
I think that was just her way of getting money, 10 cents, and start
yeah. I think that
washing you and grabbing your
Yeah.
genitals.
I think that was just his like way of getting in the door with the carnival itself,
All right. Huh.
because he didn't want to be, some dude to set up and tear down the whole time he's there.
Suppose that's true.
What about how you don't even see you don't even see Willem Dafoe like at all after a certain point?
Yeah,
Mhm.
He just
really
disappears.
takes the back seat.
Like not even back. He's in the trunk.
He's really good when
Yes.
he's on screen. I feel like when he's on screen, he's kind of channeling his lighthouse character. Have
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
seen the
Mhm.
lighthouse?
Yes,
I have
Like-
not. No.
Highly recommend.
highly recommend. Matter of fact, that could be what we see next, just so we can talk about it.
Oh,
Or that could be a
did we
side segment.
decide? We didn't decide. We didn't decide on who's gonna do the next. Hey, we could. Hey, let's. You want to pause it right here, and we could decide that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. So I think we have Jonah, and Jonah's gonna give us a movie at the end to talk about next week.
Mhm.
But moving forward with Nightmare Alley, right now, what were we talking about?
Willem Dafoe and his
Yes.
deal.
His godlike acting skills.
Um, he just I don't know. I just always see Green Goblin whenever like I see him like talking all menacingly like that. Like that's I always see that.
I don't see that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I think just knowing that. Wait, he's again a contemporary actor.
Okay.
He'll never be the main character of a big deal movie,
Mm-hmm.
only because he's not needed there. He's needed elsewhere as not just a supporting actor, but as the actor that like can do anything,
Hmm.
right? Because there's actors in roles that are meant to be certain things, right?
Yeah.
Like Henry Cavill is meant to be Superman in this movie. He can't be anything else.
I think if the right movie comes along, then he can shine. Like, have you ever seen the Florida Project?
Yes.
Like
That's
that-
exactly what I was gonna. I was hoping you were gonna mention that.
Okay,
One
yeah. Have you seen the Florida?
No, I've not even heard of it.
it was a Netflix movie.
What? Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was a Netflix film,
Oh, I didn't know it was a Netflix movie.
or at least I saw it there and never saw
Basically,
anyone else.
the Florida Project is Willem Dafoe. Like he is. It's really weird to even call him a main character.
Yeah,
He like on the title card. He is the like main character, but
because
really
he's the highest ranking actor there.
yeah. But the main character really are these children.
Mhm.
The Florida Project is about Willem Dafoe running a motel near Disney World in Florida. And the story doesn't really follow Willem Dafoe. He's a familiar face because he's the hotel owner or the motel owner. But the real main characters are these three kids, and it's mainly this one little girl. And it's about her being an innocent child, just like
In poverty.
in poverty, like poor as fuck, and like having fun as a kid with her other kid friends while living in this like super depressing, super
And-
poor.
And he plays the dad.
No,
No.
he's just a property manager at the motel.
He's the motel owner,
Okay.
and like he doesn't even like.
He deals with issues that are there.
Yeah, yeah.
He's you think like he obviously wants to run a business, but he feels for
the people
the
that
people
live there.
that live there.
Yeah.
Like the mother of this child, like the main girl
Oh, yeah,
child.
the main girl's mom, she's a hooker.
Yes, she's
Yeah.
like very dirty, gross, like
Like down on our luck.
not.
Not even like this girl
makes bad
is
choices.
making awful choices 24/7, and her child is gonna suffer because of that.
Paying for it.
Yes.
Mhm.
And like you get the sense that like this kid has no chance. Like this kid, there's no way she's gonna grow up in any sort of healthy way. Like her future is gonna be the same as her mom's. That's the kind of sense that I got. Like for me, the movie is about like generational poverty, like
Yes.
how the decisions of the parents and the parenting, I guess, strategy or lack of strategy, or care can lead to the child also becoming just as poor as the parent. Anyway, this is huge digression.
Yes,
But
it's actually
we'll-
spawned
we'll-
a really good idea for me. We can talk about later.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, Florida Project. It's a very it's a sad movie that doesn't feel sad as you're watching it until the ending happens, and then you're like, oh shit, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. It's
um,
it's a lot.
it's
a-
realistic. That's one of the reasons why I
Yes.
appreciate it. It's very realistic.
Yeah.
Um,
And to see like Willem Dafoe, he like this guy needs his money, but he also like doesn't want to screw this poor
Yeah.
children out of their like the only place to live because they're makes you feel more.
I feel like
moralist.
it's like one of Willem Dafoe's more humanizing roles. Like he doesn't
Yes.
seem like in other movies he seems like a force of nature.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a person.
He could almost be
yes.
like a lizard in a human skin.
Yes.
He's hearing this it's like, oh fuck, what do they know? What do they know?
But in this movie he's an actual guy, and he's fed up, he's tired, and at the same time he feels bad for these children, and at the same time he's like, oh fuck, I have to run a business.
He's almost like seemingly like their dad in a way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Father figure.
Like it's that's what I think I was trying to go with. He's not directly a father figure, but he's what like what the closest they're gonna see for a
Mhm.
while. But I guess we should go back to
Oh yeah, Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley.
Because
So like fathers are really interesting
Mhm.
in Nightmare Alley because I mean we learn that he kills his dad, and also he has they even mention it in the movie how like his relationship towards older men are like essentially toxic. Like,
yeah,
Mhm.
he ends up killing two of them.
oh yeah, true.
Technically three.
Technically, yeah,
Technically
Yeah,
three.
this is true. Yeah, because the rich
Oh,
guy.
oh, rich guy, yeah.
Grindel.
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 Yes.
What
Yeah.
a sinister name.
Mhm.
Who is Richard Jenkins?
Yes.
I was thinking of the Grendel from
Grindelwald.
Grendel. No, the
What?
Grendel from
Beowulf?
from Beowulf.
Yeah.
Oh, Grendel. Okay, yeah, yeah. What a weird movie. Are we?
Yeah.
We're talking about the CGI one, right? With Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
That's a weird movie.
yeah, but
They completely changed the story of Beowulf, by the way, for that movie.
for what the time it came out, 2008, and it looked nearly realistic.
I mean,
Like
I
in
guess.
terms of camera work. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
We keep going. We keep digressing to
No, it's
go
fine.
off in tangents.
It's all right. But what was I gonna say?
He's got daddy issues.
He's
He's
got
got he's
daddy
got
issues.
trauma.
Yeah.
He's got daddy issues, and he's been carrying it through that the whole movie.
I don't even
Yes.
think his mom's not even mentioned in the
No,
movie.
I think his dad, he blames his dad for pushing his mom away,
Okay.
and that's what really drove him to hating his dad so much.
Yeah. And in one of the scenes with Dr. Ritter, doesn't she kind of uncover that his dad may have like molested him at some point? And then she said that, and he like immediately was like super mad about it.
Oh.
So maybe like there's some like sexual trauma there too from his dad.
It could be.
Yeah.
I'd have to. That must have went right over my head.
No,
but it's
she
probably there.
definitely mentioned like, hey, did he ever do like this? And then
Yeah.
like Bradley Cooper he just got super mad, just
Yes.
became angry Bradley Cooper.
He's like, I don't need to tell you this information. He's like, I
"This
want the
session's
truth.
over.
Yeah.
He didn't say that exact. I don't exactly remember what he said, but he got upset about it. Which well, what does that mean? Why is he so
Yeah.
upset about that? Why can't he talk about it?
Gee, what is it? What about Ron Perlman here? Ron Perlman.
I liked him.
I liked him
Mm-hmm.
too.
I felt he was a little wasted though.
He was. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I feels like he was a little wasted here, and
Do you-
he was a big part.
Do you
too.
think that like Ron Perlman, because like he was in Guillermo's other movies, he was in Hellboy.
Several.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was.
Chronos, both Hellboys.
Yeah.
I've never seen Chronos.
That was, I
Um,
think, his.
Isn't it like
I think that's his first. film.
yeah?
I think he was in a few others. Like Blade 2.
He was in Blade 2.
Blade
and that's
2 was Guillermo del Toro.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I also did not know.
What the fuck? All right.
If you can imagine if more horror or uneasy
Yeah.
settling unsettling films were all just Guillermo or the mind of Guillermo.
Can we talk about Guillermo del Toro's movies for a second? Like it's
Yes.
specifically their visual style.
I guess
so, like-
this still goes along with Nightmare Alley anyway.
Yeah.
So yes,
So like he has this way of perfectly framing shots, but also it feels clinical. It doesn't feel like I don't derive emotion from his movies. Like
No.
I see them and I can tell that they're visually stunning and like, oh my god, this shot looks amazing. But like it doesn't do anything for me. Like personally. Like it might not be how you guys feel about it.
do you
but
feel it has to do something for you?
yeah. Well, I mean movies are the whole point of movies are to elicit emotion, elicit empathy.
Okay, yeah.
And like Guillermo del Toro's movies, they have a classic feel to them. Like I don't know what I mean by that, but they just have a classic feel. Like I'm watching a classic movie from like the 50s with
Yeah.
like updated 2022 technology or whatnot. But it doesn't feel emotionally rich.
Yeah.
Like it feels it feels emotionally dense. There's a lot of emotions in this movie. There are a lot of there's a lot of shit that's going on underneath the surface with like Bradley Cooper's character, there's a lot happening with Dr. Lilith's character. There's a lot of emotions, a lot of like things happening, but it doesn't feel rich to me. It doesn't feel enriching.
What do you think you have to feel? What do you think you want are supposed to feel, but you don't?
I don't know. I think this movie wants me to. What I'm not sure. What do you think the movie? Is
I
trying to
believe.
do?
Well, what it's trying to do is
Yeah.
just make you feel uneasy, just like what Guillermo Del Toro's always tried to do, and that's how I feel. I feel like a lot of things he does is uneasy. Like when I refer to, we talked about this yesterday actually.
Yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth.
I've never seen that.
Pan's Labyrinth is. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, I
Mm-mm.
mean, I don't speak Spanish, but obviously you have subtitles, and that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
The movie's all in Spanish because it's based in South America, right?
Mhm.
Right, and it's based in the 1920s, 30s, maybe, in
Mhm.
in I think Colombia. I could be wrong,
Somewhere.
but it's during a revolution time,
Uh-huh.
and it's just this a Hispanic or a Spanish Alice in Wonderland,
Okay.
and you think it's supposed to be all happy, all this wonderful things. It's a fairy tale, but really it's dark. It's
Yeah.
dark. It's bloody. It's has gore. Like one of the first scenes you see in the movie was these farmers who are hiding food from the military that took over,
Okay.
and they found out they were hiding food, and the general who's actually the father of the main character's mother's unborn child. He was
Wait, what? Sorry, clear that up
sorry.
again.
So really, the main character, little girl,
Yeah.
has a mother. Mother's pregnant with a general's baby.
Oh, okay. So
But the general is not her father.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. So he is like a force to be reckoned with. He's
Yeah.
like he owns this land because he took it over.
Yep.
Because of his like country. And so the farmers were hiding the food, and he finds it out, and the farmers are scared. He grabs this basket, has bread and wine in it. He grabs a wine bottle and goes, and he was acting very calm towards the farmer, and it's like, here, have a glass of wine with me. And he takes the wine bottle and grabs one of the farmer's son and starts bashing his face in
With the
with
wine
the wine
bottle.
bottle. He literally
Jeez.
caves a hole in his face, and you see the
Good
hole.
Lord.
Ah.
You see a hole in his face, and that's what he's going for. That's and the uneasy feeling
Yeah,
of
but like,
of just
but that
picture.
like that kind of violence we see in this movie, right? We see it with
Mhm.
chicken head,
with the
right?
chicken head
And, obviously
and
Grendel's face
Grendel's
getting plowed in.
face,
Yes.
and like his bodyguard gets run
Oh
over.
my god, his
and
face is also gone.
and then they show like his contorted body and shit.
Yeah.
And also the judge's wife, when she shoots herself, like she points it at her eye. Like who
Eyeball.
does that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And not only that, when she actually shoots, like you see a split second of her
It go-
head recoiling back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like obviously like he added that in there for shock effect, but like it doesn't
Right.
really do anything for me. Like it's like it doesn't do anything.
I could also see him going through the movie and making the watcher think everyone has a purpose
Uh-huh.
at some point in their life, and Bradley Cooper's character finds that out, obviously at the very end of the movie,
Hmm.
that all along he was supposed to be a geek. And
Yes.
I think in everyone's life, at some point, they're going to find out what they're actually put on this earth to do, whether that's to be a geek or
Mm.
be a mentalist or just find their way. And they might not know that until like on their deathbed or their
What-
20s, 30s, 40s.
It really frustrates me.
What brought him there though to be
It-
a geek? As in, like, obviously, yes, he says he was meant to be a geek, but what brought him initially to, like, the forces of nature itself, life itself, brought him?
Well, no, his own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
His own decisions cause
think
everything.
Trauma and running away.
Yeah. It's just his greed and just like how badly he wanted like the next thing. He always wanted the next best thing. He was never satisfied with what he had.
Then
And like like I said, I don't like Bradley Cooper's character. I don't like Stan. And I from the beginning I didn't like him. Like cuz in the beginning, you see right off the bat, he buries a body. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. What, did he kill this guy? What's going on? What kind of person is he? Seems kind of shady. And then he gets to the circus or the carnival or whatever,
Hmm.
and he's a quiet guy. He kind of slinks in the shadows. He doesn't really say much. At first, I'm like, does this guy even talk? Like, is he mute? Like, what's his story? Because he
thought so
doesn't
too.
say anything at all. Um, and even when he's offered the job, like by Ron Perlman, like he doesn't say anything to Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is just like, it's hard work, and like you're gonna be doing this, and it's not gonna be easy. And then Bradley
just
Cooper's
stands
character,
there.
he just stands there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares where you came from, what you did,
Yeah.
and who you are.
And then the next scene is him like carrying some wood or whatever.
Yes.
Still not talking. And I think the first time we hear him talk is when he talks to the geek.
Hmm.
When everyone's looking for the geek, because the geek like busted out or whatever, and like,
Mhm.
hey, everyone look for the geek, like we lost him. And he has like a bat or something, or a mallet or something. He's carrying around like some sort of wooden weapon.
Well, yeah, it's a flashlight.
Oh, was it a flashlight?
Mhm.
I know he has a flashlight.
Okay, so he was carrying around, so he had the flashlight, and like he sees the geek like cowering and like whimpering in a corner, and the first words he ever speaks was like, "Hey, everybody's looking for you." So
Yeah.
like, oh shit, Bradley Cooper talks in this movie. Okay, he's
Yeah, 'cause
not a mute.
Oh yeah, because I'm not trying to ring the bell here.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not trying to like get the attention on you, but we just go back to where you were. You know.
yeah. What was I saying? But like even then, like he doesn't seem like a virtuous guy. Like he doesn't seem like nothing about him makes me want to like him.
Mhm. He had it coming like the whole movie. It's like, man, just should be right around the corner. He's just gonna get his.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
finally, yeah, very in the movie, he stops running. Now that I remember it, and before I forget it again, the what's the person in charge of the carnival?
Ringleader.
The sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. The ringleader of the carnival he goes to
Mhm.
at the very end of the movie. Did you guys get a vibe that was the son or some descendant of the sheriff from before?
What?
In like probably what, I don't know, when the sheriff that comes to
That
the
tries- that
carnival
tries to shut it down.
Mm-hmm. He has the necklace that is what
Oh.
his wife Martha, no, his mom Martha,
Yeah.
and he has the big old handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Mary. It was Mary.
Mary, there
Mary.
you go.
Because he mentioned like he had to know somebody named Mary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that ringleader at the very end,
Did he have the same?
he had a funky mustache and he
Yeah.
had the same necklace on.
What?
So he convinced that sheriff, that
Huh.
of this whole mumbo jumbo,
Yeah.
that his son obviously became what Willem Dafoe was in the movie.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
And that
Oh, I'm
guy
gonna
that
rewatch
guy
that.
was very turned off to the
Mhm.
whole mentalist like show idea.
I think
he said that it was like, oh, it's kind of old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because his dad was into it, and like he relates that to what his dad might be into.
Possibly that, or he just knew that this guy that just walked in his door was some drunk, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not gonna offer him a job as a mentalist, but I got the perfect job in mind."
And then he says, "But it's only temporary, though."
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
temporary.
Just
I
like
knew we
Willem
all knew it was
Dafoe's.
coming.
Oh
we
yeah.
were
Mhm.
all waiting for that line.
Ooh, one thing we didn't realize:
What?
the name of the movie, Nightmare Alley,
Mm.
not referenced but one time.
This is true.
But well, obviously because movies aren't, you're not supposed to say the name of the movie just like that. But they barely reference it just to give you an idea of where it's going from.
Yeah, it's a passing comment.
It's a passing
Mhm.
comment
Yeah.
because it's like, where do you find these geeks? Oh, back of bars, Nightmare Alleys. He says just like it just in
Yada,
passing,
yada.
right?
Yeah.
That's when Willem Dafoe tells him about it, right?
Huh.
And then you think that also could be one of those key words. Realize where he's going to,
Mm.
Nightmare Alley,
Mm-hmm.
and because you're like, if you didn't have that context, what would the name make sense to you about? Like, what is a Nightmare Alley?
No, because like the name, like right off the bat, it almost sounds like a horror movie.
Yes.
That's what I thought this was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a horror movie, to be honest.
Me too. I thought it was gonna be like at least like a supernatural.
Yeah, and then I started watching it. I'm
Mhm.
like, wait, this is like, what's that Hugh Jackman movie? the Hugh Jackman, The Greatest Showman.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, this is The Greatest Showman, except like with less
Or-
for
yeah.
it's more
Way
sad.
less music.
Less music, more sad, more gore,
Less bearded ladies.
less bearded ladies.
When you think about it, like Guillermo's known for like movie monsters and being like scary and just creepy, but I think the real monsters in this whole movie were the people itself.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
everyone in it had alternative motives or way to get up, one up on someone, except for I think
Molly.
Molly. Molly's
Yeah.
the only character
Yeah.
I think that really had
She's pure.
just pure of heart
Yeah.
and just wanted to be, good spirited to everyone.
pure of heart.
Molly can
But still had a bad
can I
upbringing.
can we just talk about like Molly's glow up like later on in the movie? Because like she becomes a literal bombshell.
Mm-hmm.
Like after like the transition, like they leave the circus or they leave the carnival, and then like they fast forward 2 years later, and then we have them how they are 2 years later. Molly is like drop dead gorgeous. Like I really liked her red dress. I really liked like her like hairdo, her Carmen Sandiego hairdo, and I was digging all of that. And it which made me flabbergasted. Like, why is Bradley Cooper not happy? Like, why
He
like,
wants more. He just
yeah,
wants
like,
more and
it just
more.
makes me
That's
like
why
him
he's
less.
that's why he's like sneaking around with Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I could see that. But at the same time, Molly, come on. Kate Blanchett, on the other hand, we should talk about Dr. Lilith
We
Ritter.
haven't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody see that coming at the end?
Uh,
I knew that she was like she was bad news, but I didn't see
Yeah.
that. Like I felt unwarranted. Like what he do to her deserve that, unless it was because in the beginning he was using his mental power. He insulted her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
And
that
it's-
might have been it.
I think
I
they were
think
trying to play each other the whole movie. He thought he
Yeah.
was playing her, but in fact,
No.
she was playing
That
him.
whole time where she was.
I really think he trusted her
Mm-hmm.
because he
Yeah.
gave her all
Yeah.
his money.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he did.
He trusted her 100%. I think, and I think because he also
So,
loved her in a way.
I actually no, he did not love her, and he showed that at the end, because in the end, like what was he like when he showed up at her office, all frantic and shit, because he just botched this whole job and killed the guy. He was only asking about the money, and
True.
and that's when she like, I think that's when she like flipped the switch and was like, hey, I'm conning you. Like that's when that happened.
Oh, true.
Um,
Because he knows it's over now.
yeah,
There's no money left. All right, time to ruin you.
yeah.
Time to get you out of the picture.
What was I gonna say though? Regarding fuck. Oh, so I ended up listening to a conversation that Guillermo Del Toro had with like some other guy. And they talked about Dr. Lilith Ritter and the mystery of her scar.
Mm.
So her scar is actually from Grindel.
Really?
Yes. So basically, Grindel, like how he admits at the end, like he's hurt
Many
women.
women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Dr. Lilith Ritter, who used to be his psychologist, and obviously he did not like the results that he was getting because he was seeking out like Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
And Dr. Lilith Ritter even tells Bradley Cooper, Grindel is he's a wild one. Like he is unpredictable. So like she doesn't say much, but like you can infer that there is bad blood between Dr. Lilith Ritter
Yeah.
and Grindel. And the theory that arises from that is Dr. Lilith Grindel is using Bradley Cooper
Mm-hmm.
to attack Grindel.
I can see that.
Yes, I was getting there too. I was developing this from what you're saying
Yeah.
because I never thought this till just now. You're right. I think that she was using him to get back at him, and then now that he was done, now that she knows that he killed him.
Yeah.
Time to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But she was trying to get back the entire time at
Because she
Dr.
doesn't get
Grindel.
she never says like she straight
Ezra
up-
Grindel, his name.
Yeah, she never says that she cares about the money, and like she really doesn't.
No.
She didn't want the money at first.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
So like literally this whole plan is hatched because out of revenge.
Yes.
And Bradley Cooper, he's just a pawn in that plan.
And she got him. She did.
She did get him.
What if stupid thought? What if what if there was a baby in there and they cut it out and that was the thing in the jar the entire time?
What the fuck?
I wasn't like trying to think, oh, that's a really good, possible idea. I was like,
I don't understand that baby.
That could fit.
What's the point? So they brought it up like at least 3 times. And
well,
like,
yeah, definitely at the end because
like what's the deal with that baby? Like I don't understand the significance of that.
I think it's just a baby in formaldehyde jar, you know, and just make it look more unsettling and carny like, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Look at this thing, right? There could be an ongoing thing behind it, but I'm not sure at this point. I've only seen the movie once, so
yeah.
I do intend to see it again now because there's some things that I feel as though could. I think
really
a lot of things.
See it again.
I think the rewatch value in it is
Not super high. No.
It's not super high. If it was like something on TV and there's nothing else on, and I'm casually watching something, I'd probably turn it on.
It doesn't like.
To be honest, I don't think Bradley Cooper really was good for that part.
No, I disagree. I think he was good.
No. He did well. I'm just saying maybe I think somebody else could have done it.
Like who?
I don't know, but I don't think it was meant. I don't think he was born to do that.
I think most his roles are really they're kind of scumbags. So I think if anything, he was perfect for that role.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I think the other supporting characters were a lot better than Bradley Cooper's.
I think
Yeah.
yes, with the exception of Molly.
Yeah.
Because Molly's such a simple character, like there's not much you could do with her. I think Rooney Mara did the best that she could with such a innocent, simple character. But obviously the standouts, they're Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
It's like even like Madame Xena. I feel like Madame Xena was pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, Pete, Xena,
yep.
Rob Perlman's character,
Yep.
the General, like
General, yeah.
mhm.
I got $20 that says none of you. What do you say? None of you losers can beat me in wrestling.
Yeah.
He didn't say losers, something else. Like whatever. I was thinking about Toni Collette too. How she's been utilized in a decent amount of horror movies. She was in Hereditary.
She's really good.
And then in Hereditary, oh my god, her scene when she finds her daughter being dead and her screams.
Yeah.
That seems like real terror.
Yes.
Real terror, real sadness, real just.
Have you seen Hereditary?
Honestly, I'm not a big horror movie buff, so
Oh yeah, no, that one's actually scary. It's actually
it's
yo.
unsettling.
Were you there on
Super
Christmas when we watched it?
Yes, I was there every single time.
Yo, like we watched it on Christmas, and like, you know the scene near the end when he wakes up and she's in the corner, and like at first you don't see her, and then like people on Christmas be like, "Yo, she's right in the corner," and everyone freaks out. And some
oh, this is around the climax of the movie, right? Right at the end, yeah.
The end.
Where she's like takes the piano wire and starts cutting her head off with it.
Oh my god!
She's possessed, and she's floating in air.
Oh my god!
Cutting her head off.
The scene where he runs up the attic, and like he pulls the ladder up with him.
Yeah.
And then like he's up there, and you hear like the banging.
Yeah.
And you're like, how the fuck is how is she? What is she banging on? And then it cuts to her, and she's literally on the ceiling, and she's banging her head on.
Oh.
That's such a creepy shot.
That's several nopes for me.
That's so creepy, dude.
Like I said, I am not a scary movie guy. I got
No, but
trapped
it's not
in-
for everybody.
Here's the thing with Hereditary. Hereditary, the beginning parts of Hereditary, it's a very effective family drama.
Mhm.
Yes. It's really not a horror movie.
It doesn't go hard till later.
No. There's no jump scares. This movie does not really have
This movie literally has 0 jump scares.
Yeah, no jump scares at all. Like you expect everything and you know when it's coming if there were to be something like that.
It is a very foreboding kind of dread, a foreboding kind of horror.
It's the visual,
and it eats away at your comfortness, and it just makes you more and more unsettled, and you're just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah. No, it's you would not regret watching this movie. You will not.
The movie's fantastic.
Yes.
But it's terrifying.
Alex Wolff's like one of the.
Oh yeah, the teenage son.
Yeah. He's good at that. He's really good at showing dread.
Mhm.
Like he's terrified. He's like he realizes that he fucked up really bad, and then his mother won't let him forget that. You know, even though his mother wants to forget it, he just won't let him forget that.
The family's super fun. I feel bad for the dad.
Yeah, he's super innocent. He's like, damn man, I just want to eat my dinner in peace, man.
The dad is like the most normal person, and he's just trying to keep his shit together.
And unfortunately, how things work out for him is super not cool.
Yeah,
It gets
super
really-
not cool.
It's really hot and heavy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He bursts into flames.
Anyway, Toni Collette is great.
Alex Wolff is good.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking back to Nightmare Alley right now.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Duh. Toni
Uh,
Collette's good. Ron Perlman's good. Bradley Cooper, yes, is good. Just I feel as though somebody else could also do it better than him. I'm not saying that he did a bad job. I'm just saying I feel as though it just wasn't for him personally. But I do agree with the whole scumbaggy thing, and that's what he does. And yes, he has done it well for the past 12, 13 years.
He's
in main media.
His last movie
100%.
was the one with Lady Gaga, wasn't it?
Was that his last feature film?
Mhm.
I believe so. I could be wrong about that.
A Star is Born.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
in
let's do
that
some research.
in that movie, like he almost plays a very similar character. Maybe not. Maybe it's just because they kind of suffer similar fates. With like alcoholism and all that.
Oh yeah, true.
But yeah. So A Star Is Born is also a remake, and like I
Of a
feel like
remake.
I feel like Bradley Cooper, like he's on like this remake binge where like he's
Mhm.
finding old Hollywood movies that have like great stories to them and modernizing them for 2020 2022 audiences. Makes me wonder, like, because he's definitely a producer on this film. I'm pretty sure he is.
Yes, I think it's a PGA, which I believe the PGA. He is a producer.
Let me see here. What do you mean by PGA? What the fuck is PGA?
He's the Producers Guild of America. He's just
Oh.
part of the PGA, but he is a producer of the film. That's weird. I'm looking at the
What?
Bradley Cooper's where'd it go? Damn it. Bradley Cooper's movies. It said he was in 2019 he was in The Joker. Was he in The Joker?
I haven't seen The Joker.
I don't think so.
But
No, I've only seen it once.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
don't think so.
Oh, he was in Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza, yeah.
I haven't seen that one. By the way.
I want to see that too.
It's not available apparently.
Not yet. I think
Yeah,
it's still in theaters.
still in theaters. He was in this movie called The Mule. I don't know what that is.
I think that's Clint Eastwood.
Bradley Cooper's. Oh yeah, he was in The Mule. Yep. The movie's all right. I watched it a couple weeks ago. It was all right. Obviously, Clint Eastwood's latest movie, which is Cry Macho.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was.
Wait, what? Cry Macho?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to be?
It's another one of Clint Eastwood's little western type things, but it's not like a spaghetti western, which spaghetti western actually is Italian, but it's a western, because he really loves those things. But
Yeah.
it's about a ranch hand. He's like some 90-year-old ranch hand who's been a ranch hand forever for this guy, and this guy says, "Hey man, I did a lot for you, and I want you to go find my son, pick him up for me, because I want my son with me." And he pretty much used that as a strong arm him into go grabbing a son from Mexico, because his son's mom is some Mexican woman. She lives in Mexico.
Okay.
Obviously. And so he hires him and tells him, "Hey, I want you to pick up my son and bring him here to me." And then so the entire movie he goes to Mexico,
Cry
picks
Macho.
up his son. It picks up his son and just a bunch of things on the way back. They're trying to hide from his mother's goons who try to keep him from getting a son. But there's a lot going on. It's really hard to explain, but it's just poor acting.
It has 57% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think that's very generous, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the movie's not bad, but it's generous
Yeah.
to give it that much. It's Clint Eastwood, and he's producing these movies and directing these movies on his own. So, I mean, what are you gonna get?
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
feel
mean-
like it's something that should almost be straight to DVD or even or
Yeah.
straight to Netflix before it really goes to any sort of big premiere or theater.
Yeah, and the movie's not. it has its moral values. That's what the whole thing is about. Movies are
Okay.
moral. His moral values is what it is. And obviously, and then before that, he did The Mule, which was actually decent
Mhm.
because he plays, both movies he plays an innocent guy. He's not playing.
I haven't seen The
Clint-
Mule.
He's not playing Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
He's not go ahead and make my day.
I've never
'Cause
seen
he's 90.
his old. I've seen like A Fistful of Dollars.
That's good.
Josie Wells is pretty good.
But I haven't seen like Dirty Harry. I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, there's multiple Dirty Harry movies.
Mhm.
Too.
My experience with Clint Eastwood is mostly him as a director. Flags of Our Fathers, Letters from Iwo Jima,
Yep.
Unforgiven. Well, he's in Unforgiven.
American Sniper.
Mystic
I
River.
have not seen American Sniper. Mystic River?
Mhm.
He
He
directed?
directed Mystic River. Really?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Are you sure that's not Martin Scorsese?
No, it's not. I know it's not Martin Scorsese.
Really?
You can already tell from the camera style, it's not Martin Scorsese.
Oh, and Leo's not in it.
Holy shit.
And Leo's not in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freak Sean Penn. Is it? Is it him?
Clint Eastwood.
I did not know that.
What the heck?
It's funny how that movie's based on actual events too.
Yeah.
Kane actually, our friend Joe Kane, his friend
Yeah.
was in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, his friend was the kid who got abducted and murdered.
Okay.
Not in real life, but in the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I
No,
clarify that.
I get that. Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I never would have. That never would have clicked for me. Mystic River and Clint
Mhm.
Eastwood. Interesting.
Me neither. It just doesn't seem there. Oh,
Yeah.
obviously a lot of the movies he directs, which most movies he's in, I'd say he's directed, like Gran Torino. Bad acting, good movie.
Awful.
Mhm.
The Hmong kids.
Yeah,
So bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're so. I don't know why he couldn't have gotten more professional actors. Because apparently, like, they're just kids in the neighborhood. That he was like, "Hey, you should be in my movie,"
Oh,
and like they're not professional, and you can tell that they're
Yeah.
not. They're
Yeah.
awful. They're so bad.
but the movie's good though. I still liked it. I like the meaning it had behind it. I like where it was going with. I like the 180 that this character has. Like Clint Eastwood has in the
mean,
movie.
I mean,
He's
I liked the movie just because I thought like the
He's
the,
obtuse, yeah.
the variety of racial slurs
Yes.
was very interesting to me, and I learned some words from that.
I'll let you know how people watch this movie get like it seems a little racist because like a lot of people think he says the word gook,
Yeah.
which is obviously a slur,
Yes.
and he says he doesn't say that though actually. Well, he says it and it's said in the movie but not in the way people remember, because he says,
Yeah.
or people think he says, I used to stack gooks like you 5 feet high in Korea,
Yeah.
but he didn't say that. He said, I used to stack fucks like you 5 feet high in Korea.
Oh.
And I don't know if you remember that, what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. I remember. I remember Zipperhead.
Yeah.
Swamp Rat. He said Swamp Rat a lot in that movie, and
Yeah.
like it always fascinated me because I never heard that before.
Me neither,
And
actually.
like I'm used to hearing chink. Like that's what I'm used to hearing.
Have you heard that before?
I've been called chink before.
Really? That's fucked up. What?
What do you mean? No.
What-
It's,
what?
I've. It's normal experience for people
But where have you heard this though?
like in school. Like
Oh.
kids in school would call me that.
Oh.
Yeah. But like that's the experience of like pretty much every Asian American kid who is in any if you're a minority, like if most of the kids in your class are not Asian, like middle school's brutal.
Mhm.
We all know, we all been to middle school.
Mhm.
Middle school is fucking brutal,
Yeah.
and like kids don't care. Like so yeah,
I think-
obviously.
sorry, I think it's weird
yeah.
because I've heard many different slurs in school. I never heard someone. I know that's
Yeah.
a derogatory term, right? Obviously meant to inflict pain and make somebody
Yeah.
upset, and obviously not whatever. I've heard those words before, but not actually never heard it in school.
Really?
Nobody said.
Were
anything
there
like that.
any Asian people in your school?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, all right.
But I feel as though that's a word that just escapes people these days. Everyone here is like.
Well, I mean, these days, kids are more aware of like Gen Z is a lot more
They're woke.
racially conscious
They're woke.
than past generations, and I'd
Well,
say overall. So like it might be a little bit more rare these days. Like for example, the word faggot. Like people don't really they used to say it all the time in like the early 2000s, like fag and faggot. People don't really say it anymore, and it's not cool to say it anymore. And like that's society has just moved in that direction. And like people who used to make jokes, like comedians like Bill Burr or like
yeah.
Louis C.K. or those are the two ones that pop in my head. Or fucking Dave Chappelle. Like they don't really say those words anymore because like it's not with the times anymore.
What- That also brings up like a lot of those like forms of media are like so outdated. The wife and I, we watched like the first few seasons of Friends, and that's
yeah.
like almost disgustingly outdated, and like the fat shaming,
Yeah.
like homophobia or homomesia, and it's crazy to see.
What's that word? Homomesia. I've
Basically, like
never heard that one before.
so like everyone knows homophobia, like to be
Yeah.
scared of, gay people, but homomesia is like the actual hatred, and
Oh.
mhm.
Oh, like one is to stay away from it, and one is to literally where I want nothing to do with you, and I'm going to make with prejudice. I'm
Yeah.
going to get rid of you.
Well, it's
Okay.
crazy because like Chandler's character, the first season, he was supposed to be gay. Like they were going to
Oh.
bring that character out,
Oh,
and they chose not to go that route because of, all the,
Yeah.
politics and
true. Actually, Ellen DeGeneres, like a couple years before the show even came out, before Friends, she had a show, her own sitcom that she got pretty much got banned, got
Ah.
cannexed due to the fact that she was outed as a lesbian,
mhm.
which only
I've never
came
seen
to her.
Friends, but
It came to her upcoming because that just made her a multimillionaire.
Friends without a laugh track's not a funny show. That's all I gotta say.
I never actually found the show funny. No.
Yeah, it's a pretty whatever show.
Yeah.
yeah, I've
It was-
seen clips of Friends, and it never caught my interest. I'd rather watch It's Always Sunny. Like I love
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I told my friend about the implications episode.
Oh yeah. The new episodes are pretty interesting. Like they, I feel like they're more, they're kind of doing a South Park thing now, where they're like talking about what's like currently in
The
the
political
news.
events, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Or pop culture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's that. How do we get here?
How did we get here?
I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with Nightmare Alley? I'm sure there's more stuff, but I can't think of anything.
I guess one last thing I could talk about,
Yeah.
I can bring up is we talked about his, his film style, his artistic views on everything, the color schemes
Benicio?
of Benicio. I did realize there was one part, actually the part in the movie where he was punching
Grendel?
Grendel to death, right? You see an upward shot of the ground up, looking while you had Grendel's back towards the camera
Yeah.
and Bradley Cooper's character, Stanton Carlisle, looking down, punching him, and that I've seen in a lot of Benicio del Toro movies,
Huh.
where you have like the ground up and you see that perspective, and I guess I like that because it shows that that what if what is he? Maybe that's just his style, or maybe he's doing something there to get your
It's
attention.
almost like a Breaking Bad kind of style.
right,
Mhm.
something
that.
like that.
I did not notice that, by the way.
That's something I have noticed in a
yeah.
lot of movies. I like looking at angles,
Hmm.
angles that different directors do. Right, obviously you have J.J. Abrams and his shaky camera and lens flares. That's the signature,
Yeah.
right? Which he didn't get to do much of in episode 7.
He did do it in episode 7. A little bit.
The lens flares,
The lens flare, yeah.
not as much as Star Trek. I'll
Oh yeah,
tell you
no,
that
not
much.
as much
Oh,
as
man.
Star Trek.
Nowhere near as much as Star Trek. Oh my god! But those movies are good, by the
Yeah.
way. Obviously,
Uh,
number 3 wasn't. Beyond was not good because he
I
didn't
feel like
direct
if we're gonna talk about the cinematography, like it's just for Guillermo Del Toro, he has amazing like sets. Like the sets themselves are amazing. Like right off the bat, like when he's searching for the geek in the beginning, and like he goes through that House of Horrors, the House of Mirrors.
It was
Mhm.
spinning.
Yeah, and like
The
that
tube.
that whole sequence is like amazingly shot, and like the detail and like the ruggedness of the whole like carnival of the whole like the giant demon head
Mhm.
like that
Yeah.
like that they really showcase stuff like that. And if we're gonna talk about sets, I want to talk about like Dr. Lilith Ritter's office. Like her office is amazing,
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Mhm.
and like uh
Yeah.
it's-
Art Deco.
yes,
I think that's where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
and it has this like yellowy kind of orangey hue to
Gold.
it. Goldy,
Mhm.
yeah.
Very gold.
It actually reminded me of do you remember the scene in Blade Runner 2049 when he goes to
The hotel
yeah,
in
yeah.
that room where he finally sees Harrison Ford's character, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
And the dogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
It kind
Or
of
the
reminded me of that.
Yeah. I
Um
know exactly. It's very dark. It's brown, right? Like a brown little gold.
well that too, but so you said that scene, and then I immediately agreed with you because I agree with that. But what I was actually leaning towards was the who's fucking Jared Leto's character in that movie. He's the boss.
Yes, he's a boss, but they did nothing with it.
Yeah, no, but like that scene where like that whole complex that he's in, it has that yellowed hue to it.
Yes.
And like let me see if I could fucking bring it up.
I know. No, I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but it's hard to explain visually.
All right. Whatever.
Oh, Anna de Armas is in this movie,
What movie?
Blade Runner 2049.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah, she was the
She's
hologram.
the AI.
The AI.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. That's before.
Great.
It's also before she knew English, right?
No, she definitely spoke English in that movie.
Well, so there's. I think who was it talking about this movie? How in her earliest movies, she didn't know how to speak English.
Oh, and
She only
just-
learned the lines, and
Oh.
when they would change lines, she had no idea what to say
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
because she literally is like first language. She's Cuban,
Yeah.
is Spanish. You know, that's all she knew at the time. But they got her because obviously, it was a movie that she did with it was War Dogs that she did.
Oh,
where
okay.
She didn't know English.
I didn't really like War Dogs.
No, it was just it was somebody was trying to copy
Lord
Scorsese.
of War.
Oh no, I was
Oh,
talking.
okay.
I was just saying there's somebody trying to copy like Scorsese's writing and directing style and put in some gritty real life events thing that happened, and
Oh,
you know
I got a lot of Lord of War vibes off that movie.
Are you talking about the Nick Cage Lord of War?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Just making sure. That movie was also good. I don't have a strong opinion of the movie, but
I didn't really like Lord of War either, but
I don't
like
have a strong opinion.
I have very vivid memories of it for some reason. I guess
I think it's
that-
one of Nick Cage's better movies.
think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
He started out really big and then
I don't know. I told Zach, but I don't know if I told you.
Mm.
I saw a Nick Cage movie recently called Pig.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Pig was really good. It was a really weird movie. It's about Nick Cage is living out in the woods in like Oregon or somewhere or Washington or somewhere, and he has this pet pig, and like he loves this pig. And then one day, these like tweakers they break into his house and steal his pig, and then the entire movie is him trying to get his pig back. That's the
Oh,
entire
yeah.
movie. And then it does not go anywhere where you think it'll go. It goes completely off the wall.
Just bonkers.
No, not bonkers. It just you think the movie, you think you're watching John Wick, and then it's like this is not John Wick. Like, yeah,
Okay.
not John Wick whatsoever.
I still have to see it. You referenced it in
I don't know if you'll like
high
it.
con. I will like it.
I don't know if you like it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
honestly tell you every Nick Cage
Alex
movie.
Wolff is in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're gonna have. On some level, I love every single Nick Cage movie because of what he brings to the table.
Mm-hmm.
That Nick Cage energy.
It's that Nick Cage energy, regardless of no matter how bad the movie really is. It's
Yeah.
like pizza. No matter how bad it is, it's still pretty damn good. You know,
I guess.
like, it's still pizza,
If I'm hungry enough, yes, I can
You know?
agree with that sentiment.
except for that pizza we had in Spain.
Cardboard pizza?
That was terrible.
Yeah. I still ate it.
It's
I had
different.
like 3 slices.
Well, because like you're,
like
I
you
want,
said, Even bad pizza.
Even bad, no matter how bad it is, still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Except that was the I think that was the line. But Nick Cage did another movie in the same time frame called Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland.
Yes, it's its own version of Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Where this guy. Oh, by the way, Nick Cage says 0 words, no context at all. Everything is action. Doesn't say. So he's this traveler, right? He goes through this town, and his car, the wheels pop off. You know, he has this nice 2021 Chevy Camaro, like Super Sport.
Yeah.
And the wheels he goes over spikes and then nothing. He calls a tow truck. Tow truck picks up his car and says, "Hey, like, there's no Wi-Fi out here, so you have to pay in cash." But he has no cash. He has a card.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say this. It's all body language, right? He doesn't speak. The guy said, "Hey, well, I guess you can pay for it by doing some work and cleaning up the old Willy's Wonderland."
Mm-hmm.
And then he agrees. You know, he goes like, he nods and agrees. He's wearing sunglasses the entire time too.
Okay.
And the entire time is, the movie, he is cleaning up the place and making it look nice. There's a bunch of different montages, and side story is there's these other kids who are trying to destroy the place.
Wait, why?
Because they know that it's haunted.
Oh,
And-
okay. So the kids know.
Yeah, people.
And they're on a mission. They're in a
whole
different.
town knows this, by the
They're in a
way.
different movie. They're in that movie, and Nick Cage is in this other
Yes.
movie, and both these movies come together.
Yes, and then they come
Okay.
together eventually. But it's funny as hell because you really think that, you know, Nick Cage obviously these demon animatronics come to life and try to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh fuck no." He's brutalizing them.
Oh,
He's ripping
shit.
them apart and they're terrified. they're terrified. They're
Wait,
like,
the animatronics. They're scared
they're
of him.
scared of him.
So he's the.
They all
Doom
try to
guy?
attack him,
Okay.
but he's the Doom guy.
Oh my
he's
God.
Doom guy. He's
All right.
That's a good way. He's Doom guy. Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
man,
Like,
I want to watch
he
this now.
fucking brutalizes it's just funny too
Okay.
because of the reactions of these animatronics towards.
Do they talk? Do the animatronics talk?
Yes, they're saying, I'm gonna rip your face off and eat your heart out, and I'm gonna shit in your whatever
Yeah.
in your mouth. You know, they're saying some really crazy things, and
Okay.
yeah, but you said every single scene, right? Yeah, there's one scene he just finished like taking this bathroom
Yeah.
and makes it look pristine,
Yeah.
and then this gorilla animatronic. I'm not trying to ruin the movie, but it's still good to watch, right?
Yeah.
Comes out and he starts fighting this thing, starts beating the shit out of it. He starts giving it a swirly and just breaking his head on the urinals.
Nice.
And the place looked really nice, got destroyed.
Uh-huh.
You know, super clean, but it just destroyed everything. And
Okay.
he's just covered every single scene. He's covered in oil
Okay.
because the animatronics, right, is
Yeah.
their blood. But obviously, there's more to the movie than that. But I think the biggest motif, I wouldn't say motif, but the biggest thing about it is he doesn't say a damn word.
I love that. I really
He
like
just
that.
fights. He just fights these things, and then in between, he's drinking these. He drinks. I think the motif is the drinks that he has. He has these big packs of energy drinks.
I was gonna say, like, are they Bang energy drinks?
Yeah, he drinks these energy
That's
drinks
fucking hilarious.
every single scene between everything, and then he's also in between playing some pinball.
All right.
He's just playing pinball. It's actually a good movie,
Hmm.
and for what you're looking at,
Yeah.
and I think it's on the same level as Pig and Mandy when it comes
Nice.
to this imagery.
Have you seen Mandy? Have you heard of Mandy?
No, I've never even heard of
Another
Mandy.
Nick Cage
Mandy.
golden film. Suck your dick, man! Don't kill me. You do whatever you want.
Mandy is Nick Cage is living out in the woods with his wife.
In 1980s, by the way.
1980s.
Okay.
And these like helter skelter cultish people, they kidnap his wife and they fucking kill her. And he's getting revenge. That's the movie.
It's a revenge film. That's it.
But the entire movie is on shrooms. The entire fucking movie's on shrooms.
Yeah.
And also Nick Cage is on shrooms.
literally.
Yeah.
Nick, the scene in the bathroom where he's just crying, getting drunk,
Yeah.
and he's screaming. Nick Cage, you know the Nick Cage scream when he just wants to over the top, just yell. Ah!
Yeah.
If another thing you might remember is when he played Big Daddy, he was being burned alive in Kick Ass.
Okay.
That's screaming.
Okay.
But in this scene, he's in the bathroom, but he's wearing his shirt, but he's in his underwear, but he's just all
Yeah.
bloody.
Yeah.
You know, and then because he just escaped the clutches of the metal it was holding while he was watching his wife, or I think girlfriend or wife, somebody burned alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Mandy, check it out.
I guess on order of hierarchy for me to watch the movie,
Yeah.
watch Mandy first, then personally, because I still haven't seen Pig, so I can't give an opinion. But then
Willy's Wonderland.
Wonderland, and then Pig personally for me. But he hasn't seen Willy's
Nick
Wonderland.
Cage is having like
He's on his way
a
back.
renaissance.
Mm-hmm. He's coming back.
Yes,
Ca-
that is
the
a good
ca-
play.
The
That is a good way to put it.
Cage-assance.
The Cage-assance.
You know how Matthew McConaughey has like the McConaissance?
Mhm.
Yes.
That was him.
I
Nick
think
Ca-
it started when he did Dallas Buyers Club, right? He came back,
I believe so. And then he did season 1 of True Detective.
Yes.
Which was highly regarded.
and then he did Interstellar.
Interstellar. He also did he did this movie called Mud
Yeah,
that I really liked.
I remember one line from the movie. Everything you told me was a lie.
That was where he was a homeless guy that lived on a beach, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
On a beach?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's Beach Bum.
That's
No.
Beach Bum.
No, he was also a homeless guy on a beach, and 2 kids find him.
Okay, yeah.
Mud.
But the other one was in Louisiana, though, right? Like or
some-
Alabama.
something like that.
He
yeah,
also had a
somewhere
minor role in White Boy Rick,
White Boy Rick.
which
White Boy Rick.
Minor role.
not
I
a
think-
great movie, but
Yeah, it's based on an actual event, an actual
Yeah.
person. Like a biographical film, but more semi-autobiographical. But yeah, the Cage-assance, the Renaissance,
Yes.
and I think the top off the Cage-assance would be his
This
upcoming film.
Upcoming movie.
The what is it? The unbearable weight of massive talent.
Yes.
mhm.
That looks like it's gonna be gold.
It reminds me of this book. The title of the movie reminds me of this book called "A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius." And I'm wondering if like maybe that author is also part of this somehow. I don't know, because the title, the way the titles are done, are very similar. He was also in what is this? Killer Joe. That's the movie. Killer Joe's a weird movie. He plays a hitman, like a gun for hire,
Mhm.
and like a contract killer, and like he's just really weird in that movie. And he ends up trying to get with this like 19-year-old, I think, and it's super weird. And the 19-year-old ends up killing him, I think. But the movie itself was well done. Before that, the Lincoln Lawyer. I really like the Lincoln
That's
Lawyer.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Sorry, I'm talking about
Matthew
McCona-
McConaughey. Okay,
reconnaissance right now.
reconnaissance.
But all right, going on to the Cage Renaissance.
I'd like to point out. I think we're officially like done with Nightmare Alley, correct?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Is there anything else?
I'm content. I'm content with. I think we plugged in everything.
I don't know what else to say about it. I'm sure.
It also was a 2.5-hour movie, but it felt like there wasn't.
I
was-
think.
I was waiting for it to be over. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think the first act was really good. The second act dragged, and then by the third act, it kind of regained my attention, and it was decent. And
Yeah.
then the ending was what I expected it to be.
Yeah. So if for
Yeah.
both of you guys,
Kate Blanchett, like when she came on, that's when my attention like
Yeah.
started to come back in.
Mhm.
yeah. For both of you guys, in your opinion, on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate that movie personally?
Scale from 1 to 10. Like what am I rating it in terms of my enjoyment, or am I rating it in terms of like
The generality.
like
I'd
the
say.
general? Yeah. Well, the cinematography is fantastic. The camera work's really good.
Yes.
All the acting is like very good. It's just the story. I'm just not interested in, like, it didn't interest me. I like an overall score I would give probably a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay. And you, Jonah?
I think I'd go a 6 out of 10. I think the movie. I thought it was pretty predictable, which I think that was
That's what they're going for.
yeah, it's what they're going for. I just think it was too dry for me.
Yeah. So, and I give it a 7
Okay.
because I agree. It was very dry, and I felt like there's more that could have been done with it. Obviously, I still think it was an enjoyable movie. I would see it again in the future.
Mm.
You know, like some people see movies like, you know, and we'll never see them again. I would see it again in the future just to see, maybe my opinion might change.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more to it, and I think there's a reason why there was not a lot of advertisement for the movie beforehand. Because again, the movie I didn't know about at all until
Yeah.
2-3 weeks before it came out in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. While you guys
It
6.
The movie just feels so lifeless.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it doesn't. I like. N- yeah, it's just. Have you ever seen Crimson Peaks? His other
Yes.
movie. It kind of feels in that same vein. Where, like, again, Crimson Peak. Like, the visuals in that movie are jaw dropping. Like, amazingly gorgeous. It's just like. It just doesn't do anything for me, and I feel like that might just be Guillermo Del Toro's style, and I just don't respond well to his style. I think that's what it is.
But I guess you do like his cinematography.
Yeah, well, his cinematography, that's an objective, like, it's objectively beautiful. Like, you
Yeah.
can't, there's no subjectivity about it whatsoever. Like, you see a frame in his movie, and it's expertly framed, and you can't deny it.
Yeah.
I think, like, they're, in terms of cinematography, like, for the most part, it's fairly objective. Like, it's either good or it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess our overall rating behind it would be like a 63%.
Yeah.
100.
6.3.
6.3, right? That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
6.3.
That's the average there.
Burner flick rating.
The burner
Yeah.
6.3
6.3
out of 10.
sounds good. All right. Okay. I think we still need to figure out what we're gonna watch next week. I'll pause it here, and then we could have a discussion about it and come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think Jonah has a movie for us to watch this week, and what would that be?
Yeah, so I got pretty excited when we were talking about Nicolas Cage, and before that, I was thinking we could watch a movie called Raising Arizona.
All
Based in
right.
Arizona.
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
I watched it a long time ago. It was good.
Yeah, so it's a movie about a cop and an ex-con.
Okay.
They can't have children, and they end up helping themselves to a child of a family that recently had quintuplets.
Oh, okay. Wait, when
they
you say
abduct a child.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's what you mean.
Yeah,
All right.
like-
Cool. Raising Arizona.
Subtle way to put it, and it's very, very appropriate actually, because it's. I think it's a better way to explain that. So
Yeah.
I think so too, for what you said.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's it for this episode. Hopefully,
Yeah. Well, to reiterate, a nice 6.3 out of 10 for the Burn a Flick rating.
all right, cool. 6.3 out of 10 for Nightmare Alley. All right, that is it. See you guys next week.